Forever. Dog.
You know when you like accidentally like kick your cat's head? Like you drop something on your cat and you're like, oh my God, how do I communicate to him that I've hurt him and I'm sorry? But you know how then they just like forgive you almost immediately and you're like, and they just move on? Mm-hmm. That I think is a secure attachment style. You have like a bump and you're not like, what was that bump? Like for the rest of the time. And the other person isn't like, sorry, I bumped you. I'm so sorry. Like that, like just being able to like, I bumped, you got bumped. We're both okay.
Yeah. Yep. Yeah.
Bugs has chosen this moment to come say hi.
Hi, Bugs. Okay, wait. That's great because I have like a question about cats.
Okay.
Do you guys ever watch you guys watch cat videos, right?
Yeah. Listen, ASMR.
But I was watching this video of a cat that really likes a particular song and gets like kind of mad when the song isn't on and when they switch songs.
That. Is he like a gray, fluffy?
I started to cry because when I see anything that indicates the higher intelligence that we take for granted of an animal that you like know is there, I'm like, I get just really emotional because I'm like, I just want to know all my cat's thoughts and feelings.
Oh. Well, and I'm gonna go out on a limb, Ashley,
so upsetting.
And I'm gonna say that you do. I'm going to say that I would bet you that you understand your cats
there's
enough.
So much going on in their little brains, and I just want to be like, Fletcher, what happened? What happened, honey? Like, why are you so scared of so many things?
Have you ever thought about getting them those buttons? The buttons that let them
I do,
talk?
but then I think about the chaos.
That would be chaos.
Yeah, like you give this being that doesn't have access to full communication. So in a weird way, I'm like, is it bliss? You know?
Oh.
Yeah.
Well, no, because
and then you expose them to the inside human brain that we all live in, and we're all killing ourselves. So, like, do you think it's just better to be?
They're better off.
No.
What do you guys think? Do you think it's better to be cat, or do you think it's better to be human?
Well, better to be cat. Yeah, but
if I could pick today, I would be cat.
I don't think giving them the words would change their inner experience. It would just allow them to communicate. What is already there.
I think linguistics and psychiatrists, evolutionary psychologists would disagree with you. Words change perception.
Yeah.
If they pressed a button that indicated that there was like a ghost around, like you know how toddlers you know when toddlers like draw a scary picture.
Yes.
And you're like, oh my gosh, you're so silly. Like this is not real. But then you look at them and they're like, and then you're like, oh my god,
oh my god, what do you know that I don't know?
The perfect horror movie child expression.
Something. Yeah. I am not the kind of person that looks at something like that and thinks, what a silly little kid. I think there's something going on.
They know something we don't know.
Yes, and I will like get so scared.
This is the Chosen Family Podcast. You are a familyless orphan, hungry child out in the street during the
weeding out the weak ones early.
During the great unhoused crisis of 2024. You are on fentanyl. And you are here because you need love and attention.
So real. You just made that so real.
Okay.
You are here because you want to be a cat.
You are here.
That meow was the perfect timing. And you don't think they can communicate?
I do think they can communicate. I just think they communicate even more, and we know so much more. Thank you guys for listening. Every week we answer your questions if you're a patron. If you're not a patron, you blow, dude. I'm your dad, Ashley Gavin.
I'm your mom, Alayna Joy. I think that you're wonderful either way, but also our patrons really help us make this show possible.
Feels like she has a favorite, but she's not saying.
Oh,
Wouldn't you just like someone a little more direct?
I would never say. I love you all equally.
And I'm your hot teenage brother.
Baby.
And I also think you should join the Patreon.
Like
Mac is baby.
Dad. This is a dumb outfit that I'm wearing. I'm looking at my outfit right now. I'm like, this doesn't make any sense.
What is it?
Is that what happens when you change between
Friends
episodes?
everywhere?
That's cute. Friends everywhere with the camo shirt. Hilarious.
I don't know why
Alayna, where did Ashley go?
Where am I? Can't see me.
It's just this angelic voice echoing.
Where am I?
And this luscious hair. I just see shiny locks.
The girl complimented me on my voice and my hair.
Vanessa, are we talking about Vanessa again?
Yeah.
We're back with Vanessa this week.
Bro.
Okay, you know how we want to do like a compilation of all of Ashley's link titles?
Yes.
We need to do also a compilation of all the faces of Ashley. Because I
didn't know
love
my
all the
faces
different
all the
so
stalls, all the like
You're like
gay
really the
panic
first
stalls.
person to like tell me how good my faces are, which is good because I've been working really hard on them for stand up. I've been trying to make my faces better, like be more expressive.
You're very expressive.
You
It's
have
hilarious.
to work on that.
Yeah. I watch my tapes. I do them. I do them in the mirror.
That makes sense. Yeah, that makes
That's
sense.
wild.
I have a topic for an update, but
Okay.
I kind of want to go around and you guys are so excited. You're like, thank God I don't have to do the update.
No, I do. I have one.
Oh.
But you were going to... Sorry, you continue.
No, you go first because I need some runway.
Okay, I can do the runway because it's like not that great, but...
I need support during my update.
excellent.
I know
Okay.
you guys are like not used to being supportive, but I'm going to need support during mine.
Okay, we can try. We can try our best. No promises, though. I'm just imagining the second you start your update. Dumb.
Yo, I would think that was so funny. That honestly
Alayna, I
is
can't believe
support.
you didn't store that until later.
That's
I know.
actually, that you can't actually do it because you're a pussy. But that is actual support for me. Some people would be like, no. I'm like, that actually does make me feel like it's a safe space.
I get it. Yeah. No,
actually?
I get it. I just
Actually?
I couldn't actually do it.
Call me dumb.
No, I have this. So I have a presentation tonight in class, but we have to pick like a measure and then learn all about it and like present this like measure to the class. I know, boring. But the measure that I'm doing is a measure of like therapeutic client relationship based on attachment style. And in learning about this, Yes?
So we don't know what a measure is, Alayna. You've been saying measure?
Like a scale, like a
Okay.
like a personality test, but
Okay,
a
okay.
test of anything. So this basically tests to see what your attachment style is between the client and therapist, rather than attachment between like other relationships. The therapeutic relationship is.
Do you know their attachment style outside, like with their partners?
Yeah, so that's part of the research on this measure is like looking at, which is actually kind of interesting because people's attachment style outside of therapy doesn't actually correlate with their attachment style to their therapist, which is very interesting.
Very interesting.
But, and then Mac, what was your question?
I guess that was true.
Oh,
for
I
me.
just said I never thought about the fact that you'd have an attachment style with your therapist. But I did know the thing about your attachment style with different people is different.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's like
Right.
state attachment style and trait attachment style. So this client therapist one is like trait versus state. Anyway, and in doing it, I've been thinking about, so I have two therapists, right? Like I have my own therapist and then me and my girlfriend go to couples counseling. And our therapist, we're like mutually obsessed with her.
Oh my
And it's like I'm interested in the like why am I like in love? She is, which like we didn't even know when we
guys got the hookup.
when we chose her. She's like this older lesbian lady.
You didn't know when you picked her?
No, we didn't know. We looked
That's
up
crazy.
like LGBTQ queer friendly therapists, right? Just
Oh,
looking
well
at,
then, yeah.
well, no, because so many people have that in their bio. I
Yeah.
just like liked I don't know, something about her. I just like liked.
Something about her
Yeah, you're
short hair
gaydar,
and her
girl.
tattoos really
No
really-
tattoos, but she does have short hair.
Okay, fuck you.
Full gray. Short, full gray.
Short hair trumps
yo,
no tattoos.
You're having like a little MILF thing going on.
It's like, and then
Like I did.
we only found out like a
With
few
Vanessa.
sessions in that she's gay. Anyway,
We're getting Easter eggs.
and I'm like, how?
you.
Yeah, we're mutually in love with her. Is the end of the story.
What a fun thing to share with your partner.
Yes.
How often do you guys do couples therapy, if you don't mind my asking?
No. Like once a month, maybe. Not
Yeah, Jen and
much.
we thought about doing it as like a part of our marriage. And like, but I'm not sure how often to do it, because the reason you would do it is like sort of preventative, but then it's like, when do you start? You know what I mean?
No, and it's like, that's something that I feel like is so, I actually would love to talk about, because so the research on couples therapy, most of it comes out and says, oh, couples therapy, quote unquote, doesn't work.
Well, yeah, because if you're there, you're doomed, dude.
Exactly. People only access couples therapy when they're like already at the edge of their rope or at the end of their rope.
Right, and it's a way easier thing. Like, how do you measure if regular therapy works? You can't unless that person is, has unfortunately succumb to something horrible. But that there's no way to know whether or not therapy has done anything for, you know what I'm saying?
Well,
whereas with a breakup, it's so easy to determine whether or not it hasn't worked.
Right. Yeah. And so I would love to normalize and encourage people to go to couples counseling, not because you're in crisis, but exactly like preventative, or just, it's so helpful in recognizing your communication styles, understanding each other and where they come from, and then learning how to like communicate and be with each other in a way that's helpful and safe for both of you. It's just, it doesn't need to be we're in crisis. It can just be we want to like learn how to talk to each other in the best possible way. The new Star series Mary and George, starring Julianne Moore and Nicholas Galitzine, tells a story almost too outrageous to be true, but shockingly it is. With next to nothing to her name and looking to elevate her social standing, Mary Villiers sets her handsome and charming son George on the path to seduce King James I and become his all-powerful lover.
You've never seen a mother-son duo like this before. This show is full of wit, scandal, action, and did I mention Julianne Moore? Something this audacious and sexy is as genre-bending as it gets. You won't be able to look away.
Watch the season premiere of Mary and George now, only on Starz and the Starz app.
How often did you say you guys go?
So the way that it works usually with couples therapy, and this is how it worked for us too, but I'm just saying for anybody who's interested in trying it, usually the first few weeks you'll have one session together, then the next week you'll each have a session with the therapist separately. And then the next week you come back together and the three of you have a session together again. So it's kind of like front loaded. And then after that, you can decide however much you want to go. So we go maybe once a month, sometimes not even, just as like a, I don't know, just chat. At first, you might want to go a few times in a row just to kind of get your basics out there. Because, it's a lot to learn.
Yeah.
You have to kind of learn about two whole people and the relationship as a third entire separate piece. So I would maybe recommend going like weekly for a little bit just to kind of get a baseline going. And then after that, as much or as little as you want.
Also,
really.
you have to find a therapist that you like, which is,
Yeah,
totally.
I know. They all have long hair. It's tough.
Most therapists, I don't know if it's in the States, but in Canada, most therapists will do like a 15-minute consultation ahead of time. Do they do that in the States?
I don't know.
I don't know, but 15 minutes isn't even enough time for me to like start talking.
No, but it's nice because you can get a feel for somebody.
I know, that's what I'm like with Jen. That's one of the reasons I want to go is like, we do have like I'm so lucky. We have a wonderful relationship, but we do have like a pretty significant gap between the way that we communicate. Like I am, you guys know, I'm like deeply emotional, have no problem expressing my emotions and
Have been in therapy forever.
Yeah. So like Jen's amazing because she is so open to my emotions and she's not easily agitated by them. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
She always, it makes me want to cry, but she was always like, I love your emotions. I like love all your emotions. And it's really nice because it doesn't make me feel like I'm like too much. You know what I mean? Like a lot of times I feel like I can be too much for people.
Yeah.
But
she's not just saying I love your emotions, I love all your emotions. She's saying I love all of you.
Yeah. Sorry, I'm crying. I didn't sleep a lot this weekend. But
We'll never know why.
But I know that she is less, it sounds like I'm speaking negatively, but I think both sides are valid. Like I think there are times where like, this isn't that big a deal and it should be dismissed. You know what I mean? Like don't bog yourself down kind of thing. And she never gets bogged down. But the only thing I think about is like, I hope she's always in touch with what she's feeling and letting me know. That's the only thing I like worry about.
Yep. And that's a perfect thing to bring into couples therapy. Like, I really want to stress for people that it doesn't have to be crisis. Like, it's just a way to strengthen your foundation. For us, it's like we have kind of the classic pairing of when I'm in conflict, I'm like come closer to me, let's talk about it, let's fix it. Like, I need resolution now. And she's like, I need some space, I need some time, we're that classic kind of I pull and she, or I guess I push and she pulls, or whatever you want to call it. And so learning, that's what we talk about in terms of our communication stuff. And it's so helpful to not only kind of, it's helpful just to hear the other person, like to understand what it is that the other person is experiencing, what they need, and where it comes from. Yeah. Right? And then to be able to express those things from your own side too, and have your partner witness it.
I gotta say, I'm gonna say this, and Alayna's gonna be like, no, and Ashley's gonna be like, yeah. But I feel like at me and my partner's age, if we went to couples therapy, it would kind of just be like, I feel like we're too young. Like, if it didn't work out, I feel like we should just break up. You know what I mean?
Yes.
Like, God forbid. But it's like when you're younger and you're like kind of...
Yeah, you're right, Mac. I'm like, no.
If me and my girlfriend went to couples therapy, it would be me like, you start. And she'd be like, no, you go first. And we were just like, you hang up first. But I just feel like if at that point, like if you're younger and it doesn't, but then I think about it and I'm like, but we're pretty serious, so maybe not. Maybe I should.
But you're coming at it almost from the point of like, if we were in crisis enough to need counseling, which is the opposite of what I'm saying.
You're
I'm
right.
saying just to be like almost Ashley, how you talk about you and Jen having your monthly meeting.
Yeah, the Jatsu.
The Jatsu. It's kind of like that, like just sitting down and being like, what felt good, what didn't feel good, and having a space, a really safe, open, accepting space to talk about those things.
Yeah.
I feel like we could just at this point just do like a spoon carving sesh, and we would be.
I'm so into that.
I do think though that like if you have entered because of crisis, and you are on the younger side, or you're quite early in your relationship, you're should probably just break up. Sorry.
And I'm almost thinking at your age, maybe it would be more, the recommendation would be individual counseling.
Yeah.
Really quick. I feel like I'm about to be kind of on the older side. I turn 25 next week.
Bro.
That's a solid age.
I turned 37 this year, which is 36 is the last. It's the last young age. 37 is
That is
old.
not true.
Yes,
I get it. No, I get what you're saying.
42 is also young.
What?
No,
42
yes.
is young.
Have you seen that video? I think
Yes,
I put it on my
and
story.
it's absolutely correct.
We need to send it to
There are young
Ashley.
ages and old ages.
Yes.
25 wasn't on the list,
And it's
so this
not
year
linear.
doesn't exist for me.
It's not linear.
But yeah, okay.
Yeah.
Let me think about this.
Yes.
It was. Do you remember the ages, Alayna?
I don't, but I can come up with my own.
Can you send it to me?
Let me see if I can do it.
'Cause I need it.
Look this up really quick.
No, if I'm trying to think of my own ages, it's like it was like 21, 22, 23, young. If I'm thinking 20s, 22, 23, young, 26, old, 27, young, 28, old.
I would say 28 young,
29, old.
29 old. I would also say 23 old.
Okay.
Yeah.
I can see
Listener,
that.
I'm going to try to describe this in the best way possible.
37 old, dude.
No, it is. You're right. 37.
37's old, but I'm saying 42 is young.
Even 40.
Essentially, different ages in terms of numbers have different feelings as far as are they old feeling or are they young feeling? And it's not a science. It's not like the early half of the decade that you're in is the young age. No, it doesn't work like that. No, you have to think deeper than that. 21 and 22 is young. 23 is old.
Okay,
24, young.
You know
25,
what it is for me is I was chasing becoming a working comedian. I started comedy late. I was 26 when I started. I was just trying to get to this point, and I got there. Now I need to get to the next level, and okay, now I'm trying to enter this new class of comedian that is like my ultimate dream. I'm like so close to
final boss.
The final boss, yeah.
I've been accused many, many times of being this type of person that's like never satisfied, but that's not actually representative of who I am. The goals
I thought it, and then I didn't say it because I went, no, I actually don't think that's true.
Yeah. I think my goals are like really rooted in reality and tangible outcomes that actually affect my happiness.
And your goals are massive, but that doesn't mean that they're not satiable.
The number one thing with my goals is, as an artist, I always want to be doing work to the top of my potential. Mm-hmm. And as a stand-up, I basically have done that. As a podcaster, I think I'm close. And I think as a writer and actor, I am quite far away from my goals. So those are sort of the spaces I work in. I'm realistic. If I don't get to work in all of them, I understand that. But so I'm working on the other half. They're not crazy. I don't need to be an A-list celebrity. I don't want to be an A-list celebrity. Like, that sounds horrible. I want to have time with my partner. I want to have time with my kids. I want to be able to give them a good life. And I want to live in New York City, and I want to do art. And so, in order to do that, your goals kind of have to be insane. But,
Well,
anyway.
I also think you personally, you seem to have a level of satisfaction as you work to achieve like that next level. Like you're always talking about how grateful you are for the things you have now. Yeah.
Oh,
so I don't think from your perspective, at least from
no, I'm not unsatisfied. I'm tired.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
But I'm not unsatisfied.
I love the piece of like the enjoying the journey thing, because I haven't thought about that before, but it's true. It's almost like people can, I don't even know what the word would be, not judge or like hate on, or I don't know how you'd actually describe it, but like whatever it is that people have kind of their bad taste in their mouth about people having really big goals. Yeah. And then saying
ambition
that's like,
is not necessarily a quality that everybody enjoy. And I'm extremely unpleasantly ambitious.
Yeah. Right, to the detriment of your own health, to the detriment of all sorts of things. Yeah. But you are, it's not like you hate every second of what
like, would
of
you
the
be
trying
happy if
to
you didn't?
achieve.
No, I like the stand up I'm doing right now. I'm like, is so energizing.
This show is sponsored by BetterHelp.
So many of us spend our lives wishing we had more time. If you had unlimited time, how would you use it?
If you're looking to find what's important to you, what you want to be a priority in your life, therapy can help. Through therapy, you can find out what matters to you so you can do more of it.
I've been in therapy, for a really long time. And I know for me, that time is the best me time that I can use because it helps me reset my priorities.
This time of year is all about fresh starts and new beginnings, and therapy can be one of the tools I like to use during these times of change.
If you're thinking of starting therapy, give BetterHelp a try. It's entirely online and designed to be convenient, flexible, and suited to your schedule. Just fill out a brief questionnaire to get matched with a licensed therapist and switch therapists at any time for no additional charge.
Learn to make time for what makes you happy with BetterHelp. Visit betterhelp.com/chosenfamily today to get 10% off your first month. That's BetterHelp, HELP.com/chosenfamily.
A quick sidebar question for you, Ashley. Is that okay?
Yeah.
Do you talk about this podcast on your other podcast?
Yeah, do you ever maybe?
Do you ever talk about us on
I
that
just
podcast?
booked both of you guys to do it for some crossover, so.
But
yeah.
do you talk about us on there? Or
Yeah,
do you just talk about them here? Or do you talk about us there ever?
Like
Are you guys okay?
Guys,
do we have to do family counseling?
It's like, do you think about us when I want to hear your update. I really wanted to hear your update. I took us on a different.
Well, this is vulnerable. I do think about you guys. I don't think about you on there because I'm just riffing and having the best time ever. But when I'm off there,
you don't think about us when you're having.
You know what the difference is? No one when we're doing our thing. I will get comments on the other one from people who come for the guest that make me frustrated because I'm like, you have no idea anything like talking to this person in real life. And neither did I till I met them. And then I had to talk to them for an hour. Okay?
Wait, so what kind of
underrated skill? Underrated
some of you
skill.
people don't realize the person you follow is a fucking dud. Okay? Not to anyone in particular. It doesn't happen that often. But you saw this person in a capacity that maybe with the help of editors, producers, a professional host, perhaps some music, some costume, who knows? But you haven't spoken to them as a person, and you're like, you didn't let them talk. Let me tell you this. If this person had spoken a goddamn word, I would have been so fucking thrilled, okay?
Yep. No,
Are you referencing the start of this podcast with me?
She's been holding it in this whole time.
Well, let me tell you what.
I'm sitting here like,
It's rare. It's rare. I can count on, we've done 200 episodes. I can probably count between 5 and 10 episodes where I'm like, Jesus Christ, I will never talk to that person again.
Yeah.
Even though I respect their work. I'm not even saying that they're a bad person. I'm not saying any of that. I think what they do is incredible. I admire them. Otherwise, I wouldn't have them on the podcast. But would I go to lunch with them? No, I would not go to lunch with them. So I never have that on this podcast, obviously. And that is like such a joy to know that I don't have to fucking lift a rock up a hill,
Right. That's okay. That's a really nice thing that you just said.
That's pretty nice.
Because you make fun of us so much when you're not here, and it's a bit, and we know it's a bit, but it's really nice to hear.
I never work on this podcast. On the other podcast, I am working every time.
Yeah.
So
that's really nice.
Okay,
I don't know if the
it's also
listeners are gonna
harder.
know.
It's also harder work because it has to. The bar of humor is so much higher. I remember Matt. It was.
Okay.
Oh,
no, you're right.
No, you're right.
it's a comedy podcast.
It's true. We are not comedians.
If it wasn't,
I know who the person is based on which podcast they listen to. If they only listen to Chosen Family, they want a hug.
Yeah.
And if they listen to We're Having Gay Sex, they want
bloodletting.
They want bloodletting.
Well, okay, but actually, yesterday I ran into a viewer of this podcast who was very excited, so cool. And we took a picture, fine, and then they wanted me to give the middle finger to the camera because that was their thing.
Wow!
And that was a Chosen Family listener.
And I bet they also listen to WHGS.
Oh, maybe.
You were like, I can't do that.
I was like, no, I can't. I can't.
But Mac was on, we just did a crossover pod and Mac was on it. And I saw this I love when I'm doing the other pod. This is one of my favorite things that happens. You'll see a look on the guest's face that they are just enjoying watching me and my co-host. That me and the co-host are so funny.
I feel that
the guest is having a performance experience on the pod.
I have had that every time.
My heart just sings when I see that. Yeah. Because I'm like, I'm doing my job.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yep. I have had, I have that one on my guest.
That's so true. That was a blast.
It's so fun.
It was really fun, and you did great.
I fucking love Maddie, too.
Maddie's so funny.
So funny.
I feel like I get to talk to you all the time, but Maddie cracks me up.
Maddie's
and the way you
one
guys
of the funniest people I've ever met in my life.
Yeah.
So funny.
I was on
Ashley, tell us your dumb vulnerable update.
No, because now we got to do a question, and I can save my dumb vulnerable update for another time.
Are you still going to feel it, though, next time we record?
Yeah. I've been holding... my face is all creased from sleeping, and I feel really self-conscious. Can you guys see that?
No, I'm sorry. I'm stuck on the... Yeah.
I've been thinking about my update for a while, so it's fine. Okay, fine. I'll do it. God.
You mean now?
Oh.
If you want me to.
Ashley,
only if you guys...
Cute.
Please
only if you
give
guys
us the
want
update,
me to.
Ashley.
Oh, tell us.
Please.
We want you to. Oh.
No, I don't. I don't think you guys want me to.
Ashley, we want you to. I'm sorry we went 30 some minutes just like not talking about your
Please,
update.
Ashley,
We want you to.
All we
Are
want
you
is to hear your
sure?
update.
We're sure.
Please,
We're
yes.
sure.
Listener, will you write in? Do you want to hear my update?
Listener, we really need you right now. We really need you.
Listener, please.
Listener, will you write in?
Please. Oh, there's not enough patrons. She can't turn around.
There's not enough. She can't. We need.
If there's another 500
Have
patrons,
you
I'll
hit
turn
the
around,
subscribe
listener.
button? We haven't. We need 100,000 subscribers
Please,
for her to know.
please turn around, Ashley. Oh my god.
Okay.
Yay!
I'm here.
Oh, she turned around. She's back.
I just every now and then,
Eat stress-free this spring with Factor's delicious, ready-to-eat meals. Every fresh, never frozen meal is chef-crafted, dietitian approved, and ready to go in just 2 minutes.
Choose from a weekly menu of 35 options, including popular options like Calorie Smart, Keto, Protein Plus, or Vegan and Veggie. Also, discover more than 60 add-ons every week, like breakfast on the go, snacks, and beverages to help you stay fueled and feel good all day long.
What are you waiting for? Get started today and fuel up for your springtime goals. I'm a horrible cook to begin with, so making something healthy and delicious, fast, that's what I absolutely love about Factor.
Get chef-prepared meals on the table in 2 minutes with Factor's ready-to-eat meals, so you can get back to doing what you love this spring.
They also have gourmet meals that feature premium ingredients. My personal favorites? Broccolini and asparagus. But overall, Factor meals eliminate the hassle of prepping, cooking, or cleaning up. You can simply heat and savor the good stuff.
Customize your weekly meals with the flexibility to get as much or as little as you need. Pause or reschedule deliveries to suit your lifestyle.
We're celebrating Earth Day all month long, so look out for the Earth Month Eats badge on the menu for our lowest carbon footprint meals.
Head to factormeals.com/chosenfamily50 and use code chosenfamily50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next box. That's code chosenfamily50 at factormeals.com/chosenfamily50 to get 50% off your first box plus 20% off your next box while your subscription is active.
okay, so I'm in an open relationship, which
No way.
you can just feel the weirdness when you tell people that. Honestly, like in IRL, I don't know how to describe it, but you just feel the weirdness. And when I talk about it on stage, there are like certain like overly woke people in the audience who are like, yes, you are a queen, yes. But like a lot of people are like, oh, like they don't know what to do with it. It's weird. I feel more scared these days to come out as being in an open relationship than as gay. Like I've not told my mother, you know? Like I don't think Jen's family knows. I don't know how we're going to I don't know what we're going to do. It's obviously not like sexuality in that like, you know, it's a totally different thing, but in terms of pure discomfort of telling people, yeah, it's pretty upsetting. And I appreciate you if you don't understand it and you've never said anything about it because you're like, look, this is not for me and I don't understand it, but I'm not going to be rude. But like sometimes people are rude and they've written these comments on the internet and I've just never addressed them because I'm speaking truthfully. There are things that people write about you on the internet that either you are insecure about because they touch on something that is either true or a neuroses that you have.
Yeah.
You know?
Yeah.
Even if it's not
They
true.
hit a
sure.
sore spot.
For
Yeah.
sure.
Yeah. And so like
Everybody has them.
I do get upset about certain comments because like I'm trying really hard to always be the best host I can be. So like when I see certain comments, I'm like, oh man, that sucks. Like I'm really trying to be the best and I didn't hit it for this person, you know? But
Yeah,
this particular one, I have not responded because I feel so secure in my relationship that I'm like, I don't even need to fucking address. This is so
You're
unnecessary
like,
to
I don't
address.
need to give
Yeah.
fuel to this.
Yeah, but then I heard it in real life the other day. She was like, I just can't imagine it, the jealousy, yada, yada. And because I'm the one on camera and Jen's not the one on camera, no one gets to hear Jen's thoughts. Everyone hears my thoughts all the time, right? Jen is a far more introverted person. She would never host a podcast. She would never do stand-up comedy. She's an actor. She likes other people's words. She hates writing. So people don't really know her as well as I know her, obviously. And people have said things like, you know, it feels like Jen really wanted this to be open and Ashley didn't, and Ashley's like kind of going along with it.
Where are they getting that?
Where does
are
it
they
feel
getting
like that?
I think it's because
I thought you
on
were
the-
going to say the opposite, but maybe that's because I know Jen a little bit, and I'm like,
other
she's a sweet angel.
podcast, I have expressed my love for Jen for years.
Well,
and
yeah.
they know that there is an age gap. But, well, the ones who are using critical thinking, they know there's an age gap between us. I became ready for marriage first.
Yeah.
And so I think their assumption, they're filling in a gap where they're like, because Jen wasn't ready yet, Jen decided that she wanted this to be open.
Yes.
That's not at all how it happened. We were seeing other people at the same time when we restarted our relationship. And because it was working, we were both like, this is working. Let's not change this. So I just wanted people to know that, like, I'm okay. And I would never be in an open relationship that I didn't want to be in ever.
Yeah. Which
is what you always vouch for other people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I can't. Yeah, I'm going to do this because the alternative is worse.
Right.
This is already bad in the alternative, but the alternative is worse.
Exactly. Like I think the thing that made me want to talk about it, even though I didn't want to give it credence, I was like, there are so many bad open relationships.
Yeah.
I would say the
we've talked
vast
about that
majority
before. Yeah.
of like when you're looking at people in open relationships, like young people, you know, who, you know, you live in Brooklyn and polyamory is the norm now because people are just like, there are all kinds of ways to blow up your relationship, and making it open is probably the easiest way.
Right. Yeah.
So like, I get that. I totally understand that. But I was like, I have this kind of interesting opportunity in addition to being like a gay person who is a positive, I hope, representation for people on the internet. I can now, you know, like a non-toxic masculine, well, people are going to call me toxic, whatever. I have this opportunity.
That's interesting that people are going to, it's like you can't win. It's another example of can't win.
No.
You're the toxic one, but also you're being taken advantage of.
Right, exactly.
It's like
exactly.
It's
You're
the
so
opposite.
right.
Like,
Yeah.
You're so right. I get a lot of the male stereotypes. You know what I mean?
I was going to say, do you guys feel like masked people sometimes are pretty quick to be judged and be called toxic? Or do you think
For sure.
Yeah, I mean, you have no fucking idea. In my relationship, I'm the girlfriend. I'm the one crying. I'm the one, you know what I mean?
Flower arrangements.
Yeah, I'm
Flower
interior decorating,
arrangements.
flowering. You don't know anything. You don't know anything about.
Yeah.
It just is, it really is another one of those examples of you can't win. Like, it doesn't matter. It doesn't matter how you explain what you're trying to explain, or how you, the people who have decided that something is true, it's going to remain true for them, you know?
They'll
Right,
twist
of course.
anything
That's
to
the
fit
ultimate
what they're
lesson I've
saying.
learned about the internet is people are going to think what they're going to think, and you're not going to change their mind. So as long as that's true, I just thought for people out there who don't know about this, even if you're not going to do it, there are people doing it successfully. They're not talking about it because it's not something pleasant to put out there. Like, it's not. So
That's a
and
really
if you're
good,
like thinking about it, and you're like, the way this sounds, like this seems like normal for these two, like they're not in relationships. It's just like kind of hall passes. It's kind of infrequent. Here you go. Like, two people are making it work, and if that can be something good for you, then I get to be some positive representation or whatever.
And
So
you know what?
that's what all I wanted to say.
Yes, that language that you just used, I almost feel like is kind of the crux of it. Like, where you said, this is two people making it work. That almost feels like the opposite of maybe how you should know if an open relationship is for you or not. Opening the relationship, is it adding something to the relationship where it does for you and Jen, versus are you opening the relationship to make it work?
You're so right. I shouldn't have phrased it that way.
And no, that wasn't supposed to be a criticism. Just like I think that's part of the
Yes, you're so right.
part of the narrative.
Yeah.
Is that
Yeah.
opening it is like a way to make it work.
Yeah.
When really
Like-
the people who are doing it successfully and joyfully, it adds. It's
Yeah.
like this beautiful
Yeah.
piece of the relationship.
You know, when you guys were talking about attachment style, you know when you like accidentally like kick your cat's head, or like
your own head. I was like, no, I've never accidentally kicked my own head.
You know when you like you drop something on your cat and you're like, oh my God, how do I communicate to him that I've hurt him and I'm sorry?
Julio, my dog. Yes, he's so in my business all the time. I'm constantly like giving him an elbow to the chin and
Fulton in the chin this morning, and I was just like, because he like he's over me, he wants me to wake up.
Yeah.
And I moved my hand and I hit him in the chin. It was so sad. But you know how then they just like forgive you almost immediately, and you're like, and they just move on. Mm-hmm. That I think is a secure attachment style. You have like a bump, and you're not like, what was that bump? Like for the rest of the time, and the other person isn't like, sorry, I bumped you. I'm so sorry. Like that, like just being able to like, I bumped, you got bumped, we're both okay. That.
You're absolutely right.
I have never had a relationship like that, and I don't know if it has to do with the openness or not. Like Jen and I have a very peaceful, loving relationship, but like any bump, I don't even think about it.
Yep.
Mm-hmm. And I have the trust that I know, because I feel, I have guilt issues, and she's always like, you got to put those away. I'm not thinking, you're thinking about it more than I am. So like,
I get the same thing.
I do feel like there is something to enhancing the trust of the relationship if it's something you both want to do, and I would recommend doing it early, as early as humanly possible. And it's not always
if it's something you want.
Yeah.
I think that's true about the attachment style stuff. It's something about like the foundation is trust. The underlying assumption is no ill intent. Yeah. The benefit of the doubt is like the norm, right? So it's exactly. The little bumps are kind of like, oh well, she probably didn't mean to elbow me in the chin. It's fine.
Yeah.
Rather than like, wait, why did she do that?
Just letting it go. Yeah.
Did she mean to elbow me in the chin? Wait, again, why would she elbow me in the chin? Actually, this is like the third time she's done that. Like, it's probably on purpose.
Guys, the cat's communicating better.
Yeah, this is all about the cat.
Is it good that they can't speak?
Was that weird to talk about?
I don't think so at all.
No, I think people love when you talk about that, because like you just said, who is talking about that from a perspective
in a positive way?
Like, they're
who's
doing it,
about it
in a positive way.
In a healthy way.
Dan Savage, I think. But
that's another good example. Yeah, true.
I don't know much about, I don't listen to his pod, but my understanding is that he's in an open relationship.
Yeah, all I know, I went to his film festival one time. Did you guys know about that?
I didn't even know that existed.
It's porn. It's just porn.
I wondered why your eyes got so big when you said you went.
It's just short audience submitted porn.
Wow.
But it's like a film festival. It's not like just like amateur, like at home.
So are people like, how did you get that shot?
Yeah, like what's up?
Are there panels after?
No. Well, maybe. I don't think so. I didn't see it, but I don't know if there was after I left. No, I don't think so.
Okay.
No, but like, I mean, very cool experience if anybody's into it.
Where was it?
In Vancouver, just at a theater. It's like he tours around North America every year. I can't remember what it's called, but it's really neat. Very diverse, very inclusive. It's really cool. It's a neat thing. Cool. Yeah. What do we have for dinner? What we should have said last episode is like soup, something we could eat with a spoon. So maybe we have. So
maybe we had movie theater popcorn and we went with Alayna to Dan Savage's film festival. And it was soup's awkward, but Mom and Dad wanted to teach me about the birds and the bees, so they took me to
we
Dan
took
Savage's
your parents took
festival.
You to a porn.
You guys
festival?
listen.
To
that's
a porn.
totally something you guys would do.
Took you to a
you guys
porn?
are the progressive parents. You guys are the no secrets here. It's an open conversation kind of parents.
That's true.
No.
Thanks for listening, everybody. If you haven't already checked out our Patreon, patreon.com/chosenfamilypodcast. That is how we make this show happen. Yes, we have full episodes over there.
We typically
Private
tend to let
Discord.
loose on those episodes
Yeah,
because
that's where we really...
we're not super concerned about the masses listening. It's just
Exactly.
the close friends. It's just the patrons that we love so much.
It's just the cousins.
And if you're not on there, you're stupid. You have a low IQ.
Thanks for listening. See you guys next week. Bye.
Chosen Family is a Forever Dog production, hosted by Ashley Gavin, Alayna Joy, and Mac INGEMI. Edited by Danny Jewell, executive produced by Mariah Nicholas. Forever Dog Productions is Joe Cilio, Alex Ramsey, and Brett Boehm.
Forever.